Hello, my name is Alexandria Lewis. I am a tutor for TAN. Today we will be discussing exponential equations and logarithmic equations. First, we will start off with exponential equations. The first equation we will do today is 2x plus 1 equals 32. Now you're wondering why I wrote that x plus 1 all the way up there. Well, this is the exponent of the equation, which make it an exponential equation. First, in order to solve this equation, we have to ask ourselves, how can we make this a 2 over here? Because in order to cancel out this 2, this has to be a 2 over here too. So say, what times what will give me 32? To what power can I get 32 from 2? And you have to ask yourself, well, the easy way to do it is to write out 2 times 2. 2 times 2 equals 4. So that's not 32. So you have to keep on going till you get 32. So I multiply another 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Well, that's not 32, so you keep on going. So I multiply another 2. 8 times 2 is 16. Well, that's not 2, so you add another 2 while multiplying. So you say 16 times 2 will give you 6 times 2 is 12. Carry your 1. 1 times 2 is 2 plus 1 will give me 32. So now we go back and add how many 2's we used to get 32. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we go back and rewrite the equation as 2 to the x plus 1 equals 2 to the 5th power. So now we crossed out 2 and 2 on this side because we found a common base, which was 2 for both. So now we pull down x plus 1 and pull down to 5. X plus 1 equals 5. Now we solve for x. So we subtract 1 from both sides. 1 plus 1 minus negative 1 is 0. Then we subtract on this side. 5 minus 1 is 4. So x is equal to 4. Well, let's review to see how we got this. First, we have our equation to 2 to the x plus 1 power equals 32. You have to ask yourself, how can I cancel out the 2? What can I make? How can I get 2 to what power to give me 32? And you come over here to the side and you say, well, if you don't know it off the top of your head, you just multiply 2 times. Just keep on multiplying times 2 till you get to 32. So first we said 2 times 2 is 4. Well, that's not 32. So we went on and said 4 times 2 is 8. Well, that's not 32. So we said 8 times 2 is 16. Well, that's not 32. So we said 16 times 2 is 32. Then we went back and count how many 2's we multiplied to get 32. So we said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 to the 5th power will give us 32. So we came back over here and we rewrote the equation. 2 to the x plus 1 equals 2 to the 5th power. So therefore, we get to cross out our 2's because they have the same base. So now we bring down our exponents, which is x plus 1 equals 32. So we solve for x, and so we said we move 1 to the other side. By doing that, we had to subtract 1. So we got x equals 4. The next equation for today is the logarithmic equation. This equation is log, parentheses, 3x minus 5 equals 2. Now, you're wondering, well, this is kind of tricky. A side note is log, the base for log is 10. If there is not a base that is given by your instructor or an example, anything that does not have a base is known as 10. So this is rewritten as log 10 3x minus 5 equals 2. With log equations, this is our base, this is our exponent, and this is our formula. So as we rewrite it, we will say 3x minus 5 equals 10 to the square. So now we have to square 10, which will get 3x minus 5 equals 100. So now we solve for x. So now we have to move 5 to the other side. While doing that, we will add 5. That will cancel out because that gives us 0. A negative 5 plus 5 will give us 0. So we come over here and add 5. We get 105. So we say 3x equals 105. So we're not done yet. Next, we will have to divide our 3 to get x by itself. Next, we will say, cancel out these 3's, bring down your x. And you have to ask yourself, how many times can 3 go into 105? Well, first, you will say, 3 times what would give me 10? It's nothing that will give you 10 off the top from that is a factor of 3. So the only thing that will give you that's close to 10 is 3 times 3, which will give you, bring down a 3 right here. 3 times 3 is 9. 10 minus 9 is 1. Bring down your 5. You ask yourself, what times what would give me 15? 3 times 5 will give you 15. So your answer is x equals 35. Let's review. First, our exponential equation was 2 to the x plus 1 equals 32. Then we asked ourselves, how can we make this 2 as a base to what power to get 32? So we come over here and say 2 times 2 equals 4. 4 times 2 equals 8. 8 times 2 equals 16. 16 times 2 equals 32. We multiplied 2 5 times to get 32. The reason why we did this is because if you don't know it off the top of your head, you can make a side note on your sheet of paper and multiply 2 each time till you get all the way to 32. The reason why we multiply 2 each time because in the end we will have to cross out these 2's for a base. They have to be the same. So when we come back and write our equation, we would say 2 to the x plus 1 power equals 2 to the 5th power. When we cross out our 2's, we bring down our exponents, which we'll have x plus 1 equals 5. Then we will have to solve for x. So we will subtract 1 on both sides. Positive 1 minus 1 will give me 0. 5 minus 1 will give me 4. Our answer is x equals 4. The equation for the logarithmic equation is log parentheses 3x minus 5 close parentheses equals 2. Note to self, when log is by itself, the base is 10. If log was 5, the base will be 5. So you have your base right here, your exponent, which is 2, and your equation. So when we write that, we will say 3x minus 5 equals 10 squared. You will solve 10 squared. 10 times 10 is 100. So now we will solve for x. 3x minus 5 equals 100. So we will add 5 to both sides because this is negative 5 up here. So negative 5 plus 5 will give us 0. 100 plus 5 will give us 105. 3x equals 105. You're not done yet. To get x by itself, you will have to divide 3 on both sides. 3x divided into 3 will cancel out and leave you with x. 105 divided into 3 will give you 35. Our answer is x equals 35. In closing, we reviewed logarithmic equation and exponential equations. I hope this video has helped you out in many ways. Thank you.